of these streams, but here we are streaming. Talking about match week 21, the win against Arsenal, which was really and truly massive win, a real massive win. The win against Arsenal on match week, the draw. What am I talking about? It's been out of it for so long that I'm calling it a win when it's actually a draw against Arsenal and the win against Barnsley. Yes, that's the win against Barnsley. So yeah, that's the one that we should be talking about. That win, and we set it off from there because, to be fair, there's not much more to discuss out of those results. To be fair, a pretty straightforward win for Liverpool in the FA Cup. Which for me, it's always a bonus. Always a bonus to keep progressing in those competitions, because for a club such as Liverpool, that's what we should be doing. We should be progressing through those competitions easily. So yeah, we continue to push through and continue to make it. Try to win something before the end of the season, because we already know what it's like right now. We're already there. We're already struggling throughout the season. The fact of the matter is that the likes of Xavi Alonso that got sacked from Real Madrid. What does that mean? Does that mean that he could become the new Liverpool coach? If that's the case, then listen, I'm all for it. I am all for it if that's the case, that Xavi Alonso could become the new Liverpool coach. But we have to see where that lies there. We have to actually see if that end up being the case. But in any way, shape, or form, let's dig into it. The game against Arsenal was a snorefest. Was an absolute snorefest. Ain't gonna lie. We struggled throughout the whole, pretty much entire game, to create a shot on goal. I mean, Arsenal literally just didn't need to lose because they were so far ahead in their push for their first title in 20-something years. So they didn't need to do much in that game. The onus pretty much, I think, was on us to push, us to get up there, us to get something out of the game. Like we looked okay for the most part of the game, but we didn't do anything much to say that we can get to the other, get beyond Arsenal. Like, okay, we look like we're up for a fight. That's about it, and that's kind of where it ended for me with Arsenal. That we look like we're up for a fight, and outside of that was it. Then again, as I said, the play against Barnsley, scored a bunch of goals, looking great. But again, it's Barnsley. That's what we're expected to do. If we didn't do that, then there would be more questions more than answers when it comes down to that game. So we went in, did what we need to do, sweet. Few managers got sacked. We were like, okay, then underperforming in their club's eyes, and they get sacked. We're looking at it and thinking that, you know what, maybe Arnold could be next. Maybe Arnold could be the next one to get sacked. But still here, we're still kicking, still alive. Xavi Alonso got sacked from Real Madrid, which is sad to see, but I was thinking, would we take Xavi Alonso at Liverpool? That's a very good question. Would we actually take Xavi Alonso on as the next manager and get rid of Arne Slot? That's something that we can explore, we can look at to see if that's the case. If that's the case, then I don't know how many people would take Xavi Alonso. That's the other thing, because his time at Real Madrid didn't go on too well, and that's kind of one of the problems, again, as I said, is because this time Man Madrid didn't go down too well. The question is, can he replicate that at Real Madrid, Liverpool, what he did at Leverkusen? Can he have that kind of dominance, or is it that, again, different league? Does he have the players to play his style of play, which would be a back three? The thing is that, okay, we just have to go out and buy some more defenders, but I do think the players are there that we can play a back three with Liverpool. Just say, I do think the players are there. We just need to be able to get another defender, because that's kind of where his strong point is for as a manager, is playing with a back three. So that's something that I would love to see. Xabi Alonso as a coach, Gerrard as the assistant. You know what? That would turn the energy around the fan base if we're able to get both of them back in the dugout. I don't know if it will be successful or not, but I can guarantee you that will, you know, turn around the fan base, turn around the negative energy that's surrounding the fan base right now with the way that we've been playing this season. So it would be nice to see if we can get both of those guys in. Coming up this weekend, I think, let's double check on that. I think we have like, pretty much what should be a straightforward game this weekend. Let's run through that quickly. Yeah, coming up this weekend, we have Burnley. So that should be another few points this weekend coming up. Should be nothing too crazy, should be nothing too hard for us to get over Burnley this weekend. And another few points on the back, and keep moving up, because that's all we can do, just keep moving up. We have Burnley coming up this weekend. We have to win that game, without a doubt. We have to get in. We have to get 3 points. We have to keep it moving, without a doubt. Like, we can't be do anything else. We can't aim for anything else. We have to just aim for 3 points now and continue winning this game. Continue pushing. Continue moving up. That's all we can. That's all I've been asking for this season. The games have not looked the greatest. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of the games are hard watch. A lot of the games are. I didn't miss anything kind of vibe when after I finished watching the games. That's my thought behind it. Is like, okay, I didn't miss anything. I could have not watched this and there would be nothing that I would be missing. Sounds like there is a lot of backing for the manager coming out from the club. It sounds like they're thinking about maybe extending. I don't know what's happening. And I know there's a lot of rumor about there's a fallout between Hughes and the manager due to the form of Rio not playing. That's another fallout. There is a lot of rumors that Chiesa might end up leaving for Juventus this January again. Another player that I believe that the manager didn't treat properly. There is the likes of Conor Bradley that's been out for the entire season from the game against Arsenal. Sad because both of our right back has been injury prone this season. Like both of them have been fully injury prone this season, and the backup, which is Joe Gomez, injury prone as well. So it's a tough one for the right back situation this season, but doesn't help on the manager that while players are there, he's playing side right back. But again, with the injury record that's going on right back this season, I couldn't understand why he wanted to get some of the players fully fit before putting them out there on the field. So yes, that's something that's a problem going into the season, that we don't have the enough cover at right back right at this moment. Who else is out? Ekatike should be coming back. That's what I heard. It's a complete miss because Isak is out, injured again. So hopefully Ekatike gets back. Hopefully Ekatike is up and ready for the Burnley game, even if he doesn't start, but something to offer coming off the bench, because we do need that firepower up front. so far. The other thing we need is we bloody need more wide players and a defensive midfielder. However, Endo, another player again, just rotting away on the bench, not getting any minutes. A player that we think we should be looking to move on again, because if the manager, if you're going to stick with the manager not going to use these players, might as well we start looking to move them on. Gray situation, that's something crazy right now because Man City has entered the race for the whole Gray stuff because they're looking short at defense, so they're looking to bring him in, trying to bring him in January. Rumors out that Arsenal is looking at him as well. Why am I not surprised? It's a defender. Why wouldn't Arsenal look at him? Not that they're looking at any attackers at all. Their main focus is just defenders, so they're looking at him. Liverpool is looking at him as well. Like, we've been trying to get him over the line for the last, I don't know how many months now we've been trying to get him over the line. We offered 50, not 50, sorry, 30 million in the summer. And Crystal Palace didn't move. Glasgow said if he goes, then it's all over. It was like really close. We're supposed to wait out the season to sign him, but you know how that goes. Nothing like that never lasts long because a quality player like Way, all the clubs will always be coming in for him, and that's just one of those. But yeah, that's kind of a lot of the stuff that we missed this weekend. And over the past couple of weeks, I've been trying to get the show out, going for the longest while I've been busy. So yeah, so that's it. So what do you think? Should we go and spend Crystal Palace? I think they're asking for close to 30 million in January for a player that's gonna be free, or should we take the gamble and wait on it? That's kind of something that you know what we should be looking at is that we take the gamble on a player like Way coming in to the middle of the season and paying that amount of money for him. We do need defenders. We literally do need defenders. I just think that even though Konate is, for me, a very good defender, I think that sometimes he have a massive lapse in concentration, like all over the park, and I think that might be one of the biggest problems with Konate right now is that you'll get a good set of games from him, very very good. Like he'll be looking like a world-class player in one game, and then the next game he looks average, and then like his form just goes down. But when it comes up to the end of the season, for some reason, he starts looking good again. So that's one of the problems that I have with Konate. But hey, he will have to improve on that going forward, or we have to improve on the position. And I think we do. Van Dijk this season looks really average this season. Really average. It looks really bad. I ain't even gonna lie. Van Dijk looks really bad this season. He looks like somebody that has passed it. However, is it just him, or is it that we don't really have any protection for the defense with the iron slot? We're just getting passed through the middle like so easily. We're not, again, as I said before in another time, we're not running enough. The midfield is not doing enough. Nobody's trying to win the ball back. We don't have a ball winner in the midfield. And when we do decide to add the ball winner who is sitting on the bench, not doing anything, he just leaves you out of the squad. Still I'm not sure what's the reason for Endo not playing, but Endo is not, for some reason, Endo is not playing. It's the same reason, I think, when we look at the likes of Kies, or look at the likes of all these other big part players that's at Liverpool that should be getting games, and the manager just not playing them. I get it. He's under a lot of what do you call it? A lot of scrutiny. He's under a lot of pressure right now to get results. But even with all of that, you still need to play these players. Like, they're there. They are there. They're a part of the squad. So I don't get the reason why we're not playing more of these big power players in the squad and getting them up to par with everything. And you know what? I there's one more thing that I wanted to touch on outside of that. Sorry, I'm just kind of like, because I just remembered something, because I wanted to do a video on that a couple maybe a week ago or something, is the fact that I read something from Anfield Jane, I saw it on X, where a couple of the panels is saying that the squad isn't good enough to produce better results or show more effort on the field. Because that's not what they were saying. They were just saying that the squad is good enough to challenge for the league this season. And I'm like, what? The squad is good enough to challenge for the league. The squad is beyond good enough to challenge for the league. If we're not challenging for the league, you might want to look at somewhere else outside of the players. Like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of players that are underperforming. But at the same time, the manager has been massively underperforming this season as well. Just as the players, the manager is underperforming as well, as much as the players are underperforming. He's actually doing underperforming as well when you really take a look at it. Right? Again, when you analyze the goals that we have conceded this season, when you just go through them every single game, you don't even have to put on any former manager's hat and try to break it down. Once you just look at the games, look at the goals, they're similar. If you keep conceding similar goals throughout the entire season, that's a manager's problem. Because as a manager, once it happens once it happens twice, you start looking at patterns and feeling like, okay, why are we keep conceding this type of goal? How do we fix it? Let's get on the training ground and fix it. If you realize that you can't fix it, then you get somebody from your backroom staff to help fix it. Problem is, we keep conceding the same type of goals, game in, game out. If any teams show up and decide that they want to play, they want to push us, they want to fight, there is no fight within this team. At this moment, we're looking like a Manchester United team, and that's not even a cap. That's what we're looking like right now. The name is there, the names are on the back of the jerseys, but the performances are not matching the names. A few players right now is coming through, like you have the Florian Wirtz that's coming through right now. He's looking good so far this season. He's finally coming to the form, which again, it is expected. It's expected that he's gonna finally show up at some point this season. I mean, he can't go through the whole season that bad. So, finally show up, can kick on from now. The likes of Eketike as well, really having a good season this season. Can kick on. But the problem is that you have, on the other hand, I think Gravenberg and McAllister together in the pivot, don't think that's working. I think we might have to. I think it might have to get McAllister a little bit further up, or you have to play either Graf or McAllister, and we need a destroyer in that midfield. I know that's not the Dutch way of our slot wants to play with a destroyer, but we have to think about the destroyer there. Someone that can cover the backline, because the backline is getting too exposed. The other thing is too is that we need wide players. We need a right winger, we need a left winger. Did not address those in the summer, so those are areas that we need. We can't count on Cody Gakpo, because again, I don't think Cody Gakpo is just so predictable with the way that he plays. Very, very predictable. It's easy. You know exactly what he's going to do. Cut in, shoot. He's not going to cut in. He's not going to lift his head up. He's not going to look for anyone. He's just going to cut in, shoot. So we need to address that. It would be nice to address in January, but I understand the January window that it's going to cost more money to address positions like that in January. I think we were looking to address those positions with the likes of Semenya that we looked at, but we didn't make a bid for, but we actually looked at him. So again, that's something that we looked at in January. So yeah, we need to strengthen like really quickly. We need to get all these players up and running, and we might have to look away from the manager, because if it doesn't improve, if it doesn't change by now to the end of the season, we could be missing out on top four, and that's it. It's match week 21, match week 22 is there. Yes, to be fair, we're kind of on a unbeaten run, if you wanna call it that. If you wanna call it that, we're kind of on an unbeaten run, but still doesn't change much of like what needs to be done, what needs to be changed in the team. It's unbeaten, but there's a lot of draws in there to teams that we should be winning. And again, I would say it's an improvement, massive improvement from the start of the season, but I still see there's just too much lacking. There's too much lacking right now, too much lacking with Liverpool at the moment. Too much lacking with the style of play, too much lacking with the effort given on the field, and too much of the same goals being conceded over and over and over again. Right? But yeah, that adds up with some injury problems that we're going through this season, and it looks like it's going to be an extremely tough season for us so far. First season to watch. And yeah, for the people like myself who gets up 7 in the morning, if it's an early kickoff, it's 4:30, 5:30 on a Saturday, on a Sunday morning to watch the team play, and then we're getting almost turned over by some of these teams that's in relegation zone. Or we see the team conceding easy goals time and time again. It becomes a very, very, very hard watch. To be fair, it becomes a very hard watch, and it's one that personally I don't want to talk about, like moving out the manager, but at the same time it's like we have a really good team. We have an extremely good team with extremely good quality individuals on the field that's playing like one of the relegation teams. And yeah, that's where we have to cut ties if you can't turn it around. Because again, I believe you can't turn it around because it's not utilizing the squad properly. But we see. We see how that goes. We see how the rest of the season unfolds. But again, thanks you guys for watching. Remember, like the video, subscribe if you're new. Right? That's all we're asking for, is just for a like and a subscribe if you're new. And again, catch you tomorrow on the Friday Vibe Show. The Friday Vibe Show will be lit. The Friday Vibe Show should have some more Man U fans in the house. Again, we might be touching on Chelsea situation with their new manager. Will he propel them forward and stuff like that? So we have a few stuff I want to touch on the Friday show tomorrow at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So you know how that goes. Eastern is going to be 11 p.m. Eastern, and maybe extremely early in the morning if you're in Europe. But yeah, that's what we'll be doing. That's what we'll be touching on tomorrow. Friday Vibes with me, RJ, and the rest of the guys. On that note, this is where we end. And peace.